Good afternoon. No energy? End of the day? Yeah. It's very nice to see so much energetic people almost towards the end of the day with so much of information. Still, you're all energetic. Can I have that energy? Good afternoon? Yeah, that's good. Okay. So I'm Rajalakshmi Srinivasan from Site 24/7 Zoho, and my topic is 3 pillars of observability on a strong foundation. So you'll understand what it is as I talk about it. So as it goes with any other presentation, the agenda is going to be who we are and what we do, and little bit into what the particular product that I'm going to talk about, and then how we are using Redis. Who we are and what we do. I'm from Zoho. Zoho is the company name I said. I'm sure at least some of you or many of you would have known about Zoho. Maybe in the past 4 or 5 years, yes, you said to see ads, you know about Zoho. But Zoho as a company has been in existence for 23 years now with 8,000 employees working in the company. And we have 50 plus million users who are using our products from 180 different countries. And we have 47 plus, this is a little older slide, it's increasing, 47 plus applications which are being used by 250,000 organizations across the globe. So this is a one-liner of what we do in Zoho. Zoho actually started way back in 1996 with what we call as WebNMS as a product. We do products in a different branding so that one doesn't affect the other, but everything belongs to Zoho. WebNMS, Manage Engine, and the Zoho suite of products. Manage Engine, if I have to say, I think some of you would have been using that as well. It's IT management software solutions or software suites where we have network monitoring or application monitoring or your Active Directory monitoring, your desktop solution monitoring, everything from on-premise solutions. And Zoho is productivity and collaborative software suites. We call ourselves the operating system for your entire business, be it your CRM, customer relationship management, or for your people finance suite of managements, or for your collaborative working, we have applications end to end, and we say you take care of your business and leave the endpoints monitoring to us, so we call ourselves the operating system for your entire business. But what I'm going to talk today is about Site 24/7, which is the product that I'm working on now. That is IT management on the cloud. So you all must be knowing that cloud is ruling the world for the past 10 years, 15 years. It started way back in 2005, the cloud started picking up. So now it is very easy for us to write any application, so with so many things available. When we have to talk about the cloud architecture, I categorize them as the various layers. The topmost layer is your end user layer, because at the end of it, for any business, customers are important. So how are customers accessing your applications? They access through web browsers or mobile apps or your tablets, so that's the end user layer. Next comes your application layer. So this is where your business logic is hosted. So this is the portion which everybody has to work on. That is called the application layer, and today there are providers available. Software as a service is what is that layer called. The next is your platform layer, which is where your caching servers, your NoSQL databases, or your queues, your microservices, all those forms the platform layer. Again, there are providers, platform as a service. You can just make use of them and build your application. And the bottommost is your infrastructure layer, which is where the actual physical server or your virtual servers, your cloud servers, your load balancer, network, firewall, everything forms the infrastructure layer. And there are solution providers, which is the IaaS, infrastructure as a service, which you can use if you want to build any application. So this is how a typical cloud architecture can be categorized. So I'll come back to why I'm saying this. Now, how many of you have heard this name DevOps? I think we must be heard. And in the recent days is what we are hearing this, maybe 4 years, 5 years. So can you tell me some job profiles that have come in the recent past? DevOps or cloud engineer, data scientist, big data analyst. The job profiles vary based on the technological evolution that happens. But you have to, what do I say? You have to adopt it. It might be that you're using it or you're doing the job already, just that the profile varies. So understand what it is and upgrade yourself based on that. So for DevOps, actually, DevOps is the target audience to whom our product caters to. There are various definitions or illustrations for it. But I have a different illustration. There used to be a field called developers once upon a time, maybe few years back. Even today we have. But developers are as a role who actually develops, who writes the code, compiles it, build it as a product, and that's all. With that, their role is over. They give it to another person. The other person is the operator who actually deploys the code, takes care of SLAs, attend to customer issues, and attend to performance issues. So that's the operator role. So these two used to be two different roles, and there used to be a lot of blame game that used to happen whenever some problem occurs, right? So this has been merged together because we are in this digital world where you need to take everything quicker to your end customer. So customer experience and end customers are our important things. That being the case, how do you bridge the gap? So I've merged these two. So this is what I see as DevOps. A person who should have some knowledge of what is happening in development to actually what is happening in the deployed setup as well. But he or she cannot be a superhuman, as is shown in the figure, to know everything by themselves. So they need to make use of monitoring tools. And that's where our tool helps. And another similar word that we hear is the site reliability engineers, which is picking up now. But I would say DevOps and SREs are two sides of the same coin. They're not different. So I would say them as like this. So if DevOps is about what to do, SRE is about how to do. So they are the two sides of the same coin. And I talked about various layers in the beginning. So I'm just combining those both. The DevOps or the site reliability engineer has to have a complete knowledge of what is happening in all the layers of the cloud application for them to take quick actions when something goes wrong. So that is where Site 24/7 comes in. And what are the challenges for these people? There are many challenges for everybody in our day-to-day life. But as a DevOps person or a site reliability engineer, top two challenges. Can you tell me what's the first one? Topmost. Uptime, right? So you have to have all your resources, be it your websites or your application, your infrastructure, your platform component, all of them have to be up and running. That's what is utmost challenge. Because I'm talking about cloud architecture. So is uptime sufficient? I have all my resources up and running. Is that enough? Performance, exactly. So I call that as slow is the new down. Nobody has the time or patience to sit through pages that are going to take forever to load. Agree with me? How many of us wait when it keeps loading? No. So speed is important, performance is important. So when you design, you have to take care of all your performance issues as well. So uptime and all others can be clubbed together and put into these two itself. So these two are very important for any monitoring solution. So if I have to say the three pillars for observability, which is for monitoring, they are nothing but metrics. Metrics is the first pillar, which is your uptime metrics or throughput metrics. All that comes under that. Trace is the next one, where problem happens. What is the line of code that is having the issue? You have to find out the trace of where the problem is. So trace is the second pillar, and logs. Logs is the third pillar. So these are the three pillars for any monitoring solution. About Site 24/7 and one slide. So this is an all-in-one. There are many monitoring tools in the market, and all of them have to have these three pillars. Site 24/7 is one such tool where it's an all-in-one monitoring platform that lets you take care of all your monitoring needs from one console, be it website monitoring. Because, see, website is the index or face of your business. You agree with me? because they enter only through that. They come to know of any business. From today morning, we have been hearing so many business things. How do we know about them? How do you know about any of the business or newer applications? Website, you go log into their website and see what it is. So how do you make sure your website loads faster, or how do you make sure your website is not down from multiple locations as well? So website monitoring is important. We monitor from 100 different locations. Similarly, for infrastructure, server monitoring is needed, cloud monitoring, or your network, application performance for tracing, the real user monitoring, and logs. All these are different use cases. I'm going to give some numbers for all of this. So all of these are our use cases where we use Redis. So if you have to go into the architecture, so this is a simplified version of the complex architecture that we have. I couldn't simplify it any further, so I'll just explain it in bits as I proceed to the next slides. So we do have the 3 pillars that I talked about. For metrics, what we collect, for traces, what we collect, and for logs, what we collect. All of them from different locations across the globe we collect. And then what is our infrastructure? Where do we store all of them? If you see, the Redis is, I don't know if this is pointing. So the Redis is there here. So it is like, you can see this as a small portion in this big architecture diagram, but that is the brain of the whole system. It's only small, but that's the brain of the whole system on which the whole product operates. So if I have to explain this a little bit, so this is the metrics collection, where we collect the customer websites from across the globe, be it accessible from intranet, or be it accessible publicly, or if you have access only from the intranet, also we can monitor, and the real users as they are using the product, from which location they are using, what is the browser they are using, what is the ISP that is lying behind. All of this are needed for your monitoring metrics. So this is the metrics part of it. This is the logs. Logs are again agent-based logs. You have to install the agent in any of your, be it Java, Windows, Linux, or whichever platform. You just have to install the agent to know the logs. And this is the traces. For traces, for applications, it can be Java, .NET, Ruby, PHP, or Node.js. You just have to install agent. Collect all this, and this is where the primary data center and the secondary data center we have. So all of this are collected through different data collectors. The different data collectors that we have for the metrics, the web part, or for the server, or for the application, we have different data collectors. All of them collects the data and put it in DB as well as the cache. And there are client accessing as well. And we have a similar DR, disaster recovery data center as well. And these data centers, there are 8 different data centers across the globe. I'm talking about only one data center and one architecture. Now I'll go to some metrics to give you an understanding of how much data we are processing. So the requests that we are processing, see, I said all of this, you have to see how your websites are performing from different locations. It's all background jobs or scheduled jobs that run every 1 minute or every 5 minutes to see things are working fine. So we do 250K background jobs processed per minute. So if you do all the math, it comes to 360 million background jobs per day. So this is, I'm talking for only one product, which is Site 24/7. There are multiple products like this across Zoho, where we process even more requests. And for the logs, we collect from agents. It processes 200K agent requests per minute, and it boils down to 300 million requests per day. Per day, we are processing so much requests. That is for the logs. And user requests from different clients. It is 15K user requests processed per minute. If you do the math, it becomes 20 million user requests per day. So almost per day, we are processing 300, 360, some 700 requests 700 million requests per day are being processed. To process this scale, databases cannot do. We have to make use of cache as well. We have multiple clusters. So we have 12 MySQL clusters and 12 Redis clusters. So this is the foundation on which the whole monitoring solution itself is running. And this is for only one product. Similarly, we have for the other 50 different products that we are running. So if I have to talk to you about the cluster metrics, I'm talking this numbers with respect to one cluster. For this product itself, we have 12 clusters. So that's the scale at which we process. So we do process 40,000 connections per minute. And it boils, if you do the math, it comes to 60 million connections per day for the Redis cluster, per cluster, not for all the clusters, per cluster. Similarly, we do for other clusters as well. And the commands that we are processing are 1.3 million commands per minute. So that's the scale I'm talking. This is per minute. If I have to do the math and get it to per day, it comes to 2 billion requests per day. Sorry, 2 billion commands processed per day. Similarly, the instantaneous ops at any point in time. At any point, the instantaneous operations that you take, it comes to 20,000. So that's the scale for one cluster or each of the clusters. And we do have 5 Mbps input rate and 18 Mbps output rate. So this is the Redis foundation. This is the strong foundation on which the pillars are standing, without which it is not possible for us to run this system at all. We do use the monitoring tools to get this metrics. This is to show the metrics that I have collected. You're all with me so far, so good? Yeah. So the last portion that I wanted to say is optimization. So what to do, what not to do. So from morning, we have been hearing different use cases. So let's see. I have a different story to say here. How many of you know this story? Show of hands. The 5-monkey ladder and the banana story? OK. For the benefit of for all people, I just take 1 minute to say this story. The few scientists wanted to do an experiment, and they put 5 monkeys, a ladder and a banana inside a cage or inside a room. And one monkey started climbing up to fetch the banana. They poured cold shower on the rest of the 4 monkeys. So the next time any monkey climbed up, the rest of the monkeys made sure it went and beat a monkey that is climbing and pull it down. So since this happened forever, none of the monkeys dared to go climb up. After some time, they replaced one monkey and put in a new monkey. So as soon as the new monkey came in, it climbed the ladder to get the banana. The 4 monkeys beat the monkey that climbed up and pull it down. Then they replaced a second monkey. Now the 3 old monkeys and the new monkey joined together to beat the monkey that is climbing up to pull it down. The new monkey hasn't got cold shower, but still, because the others are doing, it also went and did the same thing. Slowly, they replaced all the old monkeys, and all 5 are new monkeys. They have not got any cold shower, but still, any one climbed up, the others beat it and pull it down, because, I don't know, that's how things have been happening. So why I'm saying this story is, what works for one may not work for other. So the 10 or 13 different stories that we have heard, or our own use case, is applicable or it worked for us. It may not work for other people. So understand what is needed for your business, understand what is needed for your application, and analyze if this is really needed to be done, and take it forward and do. So don't just take, because it's working for some people, it's a good case study, let's also go and implement it. So I thought this story fits in here, so I just wanted to tell it here. Do you know who this person is? Anybody? He's a computer scientist, mathematician, and a professor by name Donald Knuth. He has written a lot of books, and one of his books by name Art of Computer Programming, he said, premature optimization is the root of all evil. So this is one important message I wanted to leave the audience with. So think what is needed for you, and then take it up. Don't do any premature optimization. If there is one takeaway from my session, let it be this. Thank you for the opportunity.